Good morning children. Children, in the last class we learned about the tongue, is it? So when we eat the food is broken down into small pieces with the help of our teeth and tongue, and also our mouth, our buccal cavity has salivary glands, so it produces saliva. This saliva it mixes with the food, and then this saliva converts the starch present in the food into glucose, isn't it? So we learned about this in the last class. So then that food is entered into the food pipe. So food pipe, it is also called as esophagus. This swallowed food from the mouth, it passes into the food pipe or esophagus. So see here children, so this part it is called as food pipe or esophagus. So here when we swallow the food, is it? So that food is passes to the passes into the food pipe or esophagus. So this esophagus it runs along the neck and chest. It runs along the neck and chest. Okay. So then here the food is passed down. So here the food is passed down by the movement of wall of the food pipe. So here we see. So inside this, the food is inside the esophagus. The food is moved. Is it? So food is passed down by the movement of the wall of this food pipe. Is it children? So this movement, actually this movement takes place throughout the alimentary canal, is it? And pushes the food downwards. So this movement, actually this movement takes place throughout the alimentary canal, and then the food is pushed downwards. Is it children? So the swallowed food enters into the food pipe. Is it? Food pipe or esophagus. Esophagus. Is it? And then that food pipe so runs along the neck and chest. So in which part of our body this food pipe runs out or runs along? The food pipe runs along the neck. It runs along the neck and the chest. The food pipe runs along the neck and the chest of our body. Is it children? And then food is pushed along, it is pushed down by the movement of the wall of the food pipe. So food is moved down or it is pushed down. So that food is moved. That food is moved inside the esophagus. So that the food is moved of the wall of the food pipe. So actually this movement takes place throughout the alimentary canal, throughout the digestive tract, and the food is then pushes downwards, and this movement pushes the food downwards. Food is moved. Yes, it is moved, pushed down or moved down, pushed down by the movement, that is movement of the wall of the esophagus. So the food it moves in the esophagus, is it? Moves in the esophagus. So by the movement of the wall of the esophagus. So inside this wall of this esophagus, so it shows some movement. So by this movement of the wall of this food pipe, the food is pushed downwards. Is it, children? And then this movement is taken place throughout the alimentary canal. Actually, this movement takes place throughout the digestive tract or alimentary canal. And then the food is pushed downwards. Is it, children? So at sometimes, not always, at some time the food is not accepted by our stomach. So at that time what happens? So we vomitate the food out. Is it? So and is vomited out. Is it? So food ನಮ್ಮ stomach accept ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ನಮಗೆ vomit ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Is it? So it takes place sometimes. Sometimes the food is not accepted by our stomach and is vomited out. Okay, children, let us come to the another part, that is our stomach. See here. So what is this? This is our stomach. Okay, so it is a thick bag-like structure. It is a thick-walled bag. Is it? The stomach is a thick-walled bag-like structure. So its shape is like J. So in English letter, you see, isn't it? You know that English letter J. So it resembles like the J letter. Is it? So its shape. The shape of our stomach is a flattened, is like a flattened J, and it is the widest part. So it is the widest part of our alimentary canal. Andre ಈ alimentary canal ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ widest part ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ that is our stomach. Is it? So ಯಾವ shape ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಇದು? J shape ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Is it? So the shape of our stomach is like a flattened J, and it is the widest part of our alimentary canal. Is it, children? So this our stomach receives food from the food pipe. It receives food from the food pipe at one end. Is it? So in this end, food is received from the end of this esophagus. Is it? So our stomach receives food from the food pipe at one end, and then it passes, and then it is opens into the small intestine at the other end. See here, it receives the food from this end. So through this food pipe or esophagus, and then it opens. Then it opens into the small intestine at the other end. Is it? So that food is passed to the small intestine through the other end of our stomach. Understand? So a stomach is a thick walled bag-like structure. Is it? Next part of the alimentary canal is our stomach. Is it? It is a thick walled bag-like structure. Is it? And then it is a, this in which shape it is? It is the, our stomach shape is like a flattened J. Is it? And it is the widest part of our alimentary canal. Its shape is like a flattened J, and it is the, our stomach is the widest part of the alimentary canal or digestive tract. Is it, children? So then this stomach, it receives the food. It receives the food from the oesophagus at one end, and then it opens into the small intestine at the other end. It receives food from the oesophagus from this end, and that food reaches or opens into the, or goes or passes into the small intestine of the other end, or at the other end of our stomach. Is it? Receives the food from the oesophagus at one end and opens into the small intestine at the other end. Okay, so this is about our stomach. And then, so what is present inside our stomach? So which juices or which chemicals that is produced in our stomach, so that helps for our digestion. So the inner wall of our stomach, so it secretes mucus. So what is the meaning of mucus? Mucus means it is a substance, so it is a very slippery and stringy fluid. So this mucus is produced our stomach. Children, so slippery means adanna touch madidre jari, slippery, stringy fluid type. So that is called mucus. The inner lining of the stomach, it is secreted the mucus, the inner layer. So inner lining of our stomach, it secretes, what it secretes? Mucus. Mucus is a slippery, stringy fluid. Okay, slippery, what is that? Mucus is a slippery, then stringy fluid substance. So our stomach also produces hydrochloric acid, and it also produces digestive juices. So what is the function of the mucus? The mucus protects the lining of the stomach. It protects the layer of the stomach from the acid released by our stomach called hydrochloric acid. Is it? So the acid, it is also produced by our stomach, so that kills many bacteria that may enter along with the food. That may enter along with the food in our body. So what is the role of the hydrochloric acid here? The acid kills many bacteria that enter along with the food. And then acid, so they makes the acidic media. So during digestion in the stomach, so the acid, they makes the acidic media. It helps for the, yes, some digestive juices are released to act. Children, so our stomach produces hydrochloric acid. So this acid makes the media. So makes the media in the stomach, that is acidic media. So thus that acidic media helps the digestive juices to act. Okay children, then the digestive juices that is produced in our stomach, so that break down the proteins present in our food into simpler substances. Okay. So the inner lining of our stomach, it produces mucus, hydrochloric acid, and digestive juices. So this mucus, it protects the lining or inner layer of the stomach. So what is the hydrochloric acid? What is the role of hydrochloric acid in the digestion? So the hydrochloric acid produced our stomach, that kills the bacteria that enters. That bacteria, if it enters along with the food, and also it provides acidic media, it makes acidic media for the action of digestive juices. So acid makes the acidic media in the stomach, so this helps the digestive juices to act, and the digestive juices, they break down the proteins present in our food into simpler substances. Digestive juices, they break down these proteins into simpler substances. Okay, I have told you about what is the use of the mucus, and then what is the role of hydrochloric acid, what is the role of digestive juices. So mucus, it protects the layer or lining of the stomach. Okay, and then what about the hydrochloric acid? Hydrochloric acid, it kills the bacteria, and then it makes the acidic media. Okay, so this media helps for the action of digestive juices produced in our stomach. Okay children, so let us come to the another part of our alimentary canal, that is small intestine. So the small intestine, it is highly coiled. And it is about 7.5 meters long. So its length is 7.5 meters long. See here children. So this is our small intestine. So it is highly coiled, isn't it? It is highly coiled, and it is about, it is highly coiled, and its length is 7.5 meter. And then this one, it receives secretions. So that is produced from the liver. What is this? So this is our liver. This is the liver, and this one is pancreas. So in the liver we can see a sac-like structure So this is called as gallbladder. So sac-like structure is present in the liver. So it is called as, yes, gallbladder. So our intestine receives the secretion from the liver and pancreas. Okay, and along with this or besides this, its wall, that means intestinal wall also secretes some juices. So these all juices, they are mixed in the food. They are mixed along with the food. Is it, children? So see here. So what is this? This is a liver, isn't it? So the liver is a, what is the color of this? Reddish brown color. It is a reddish brown gland. So it is situated, so in the upper part, on the upper part of the abdomen. It is present in the, yes, our right side. Okay, children, it is present in the right side, children. So see here. So this one is small intestine. It is about 7.5 meters long. It is highly coiled. And then it receives the secretion. Some substances or some secretions are secreted from the, yes, our liver and also pancreas. They secrete some secretions, and besides this, the intestinal wall also secretes juices. Is it, children? Our liver is a reddish brown in color. It is in the upper part of our, it is situated at present in the upper part of our abdomen in the right side. See here, in the, so in which side? In the right side. Is it? So let us come to the another part of our, yes, alimentary canal called small intestine. Let us know more about small intestine. Small intestine. So it is highly coiled like this. It is coiled like this. It is highly coiled and it is about, its length is about 7.5 meters length. And then it receives the secretions. So small intestine, it receives the secretions from the, yes, liver and pancreas. So besides this, or along with this, our intestinal wall also produces or secretes juices. Besides, its wall produces or secretes juices. Also secretes juices. And then our liver is a reddish brown in color. Is it? It is a reddish brown gland. Liver, it is a reddish brown gland. So it is situated, yes, and in the upper part of our abdomen at the right side. Is it, children? So then about pancreas. So and also another more one more question I want to ask children. So which is the largest gland in the, yes, human body? So that is liver. So liver is the largest gland in the body. gland of the body. Okay. So then its liver also secretes bile juice. So that is stored in the gallbladder, a sac-like structure called gallbladder. So what is the function of the bile juice? See here. So here we can see it is our liver, isn't it, children? So this one secretes bile juice. So this bile juice, it is stored in the another part called, it is a sac-like structure called gallbladder. Is it? So the bile that is produced by the liver, it plays an important role in the digestion of fats. So it digests the fat. Bile juice, it digests the fats. Okay, and then what is this, children? It is called as pancreas. It is a large cream gland, cream color gland. It is a larger and then it is a cream color gland. It is located just below the stomach. It is located just below the stomach. Is it, children? So liver produces bile juice that is stored in the gallbladder. It is a sac. Gallbladder is a sac-like structure, and then the bile juice plays an important. It digests the. So what is the function of the bile juice? It digests the fats present in our food. And then pancreas is a large cream-colored gland. It is located just below the stomach. Is it? So here pancreas, children, pancreas also secretes some juices. So this juices acts on carbohydrates, fats and proteins present in our food and changes them into simpler substances, changes them into simpler forms. So our liver produces bile juice. So this one, it is stored in the gallbladder. So it is a sac-like structure. Okay. And then, so this bile juice, it acts or it digests the fats present in our food. And then about pancreas. Pancreas, it is a cream colored gland, large and cream colored gland. It is situated, it is present in a just below the stomach. The pancreas is also produces juices. So this juices acts on carbohydrates. So what are carbohydrates? So what is this, children? What is fats, carbohydrates, proteins? These are the nutrients present in our food, is it? So this pancreatic juice, they act on carbohydrates, fats and proteins. And then convert this into simpler forms. Adanna tumba simple form ge convert madutte. Yaudu pancreatic juice. It is produced by our pancreas. Is it, children? So pancreatic juice, it digests or it acts on carbohydrates and then fats, then proteins. So these are converted into simpler forms. Is it? So these are converted into very simpler forms, children. See. So So pancreatic juice convert or changes the carbohydrates, fats, proteins present in our food into very simpler forms. So the partly digested food, so that the partly digested food that now reaches the lower part of our small intestine. So where the intestinal juice completes the digestion of all components of the food, children. See here. So here now the food is partly digested. So it reaches the lower part of our small intestine. So here the intestinal juice is produced. So that completes the digestion of all the components of our food. All the components present in our food. Okay, children. So here pancreatic juice and our bile juice, they react and they act on the food. Is it? So then after that the food reaches the lower part of our stomach, lower part of our small intestine. In this region, the intestinal wall produces intestinal juice. So this juice completes the digestion of the components present in our food. So the intestinal juice that converts the carbohydrates into simpler sugars called glucose, and then fats into fatty acid and glycerol, proteins into amino acid. So children, our intestinal wall produces intestinal juice. Is it? So this juice acts on the food. So already the food enters the lower part of our small intestine. In that region, yes, the intestine produces intestinal juice. So this juice, it acts on all the components of the food. So this juice, they digest, they get converted the carbohydrates into, or broke down the carbohydrates into very simple forms, that is glucose, carbohydrates. So that converted into simple sugar called as glucose. So this one carbohydrate, it is converted into simpler forms, that is glucose. It is converted by intestinal juice. And then fats. Intestinal juice acts also on the fat, and this fat is converted into fatty simpler forms called fatty acid plus along with that glycerol. So then here also then proteins. The intestinal juice converts the proteins into its simpler forms called amino acid. Okay, it is converted into proteins into simpler forms called amino acid. It is taken place in the lower part of our stomach. So let us come to know about how our smaller intestine absorbs the nutrition, absorbs these nutrients. The digested food, so that is now passed into the blood vessels of the wall of the small intestine. So this process we call as absorption. So in the wall of the small intestine, the digested food, it is absorbed. So it is passed into the blood vessel present in the wall of the small intestine. So a small intestine has blood vessel, is it? So digested food then enters, that is passed into the blood walls in small intestine. So this process we call as absorption of the nutrients. So then the inner wall of the small intestine, they have this inner wall of the small intestine, they have thousands of finger-like projections. Finger-like outgrowths. They are called as villi. Children, our intestinal has or the inner wall of the small intestine. The inner wall of the small intestine has finger-like projection. So it has thousands of finger-like. It has thousands of, that means small intestine, wall of the small intestine have thousands of finger like outgrowth or projections. So this is called as, these finger like projections or outgrowth are called as villi. The plural form, the singular form of villi is villus. Okay. So see here, if it is a inner wall of the small intestine, we can see finger-like projection in the, like a finger. In finger-like projections, we can see inside the wall of the small intestine. You can see finger. So this absorbs the nutrients present in the food. The villi increases the surface area for the absorption of digested food. So what is the use of this finger-like projections or villi? So it absorbs the nutrients in large quantity because it increases the surface area. So that's why the villi increase the surface area for the absorption of digested food. So each villus has the network of it has a small and then thin blood vessels. So each villus, they have thin, small, it has a network of thin, small blood vessels. So that is very close to the surface. See here it has some blood vessels. So this blood vessels, it is very close to the surface of the villi. Surface of the villi. Okay. The surface of the villi, it absorbs the nutrients. Isn't it? Surface of the villi absorb the digested food materials. So the surface of the villi, they absorb the food materials. Is it? The absorbed substances, so they are then transported. So this absorbed substances, this is transported to the other organs. Is it? It is passed or transported to different organs of our body. And then these organs use the complex substances such as proteins. So what is the use of the protein? Yes, it builds and it builds our body and it helps for the growth of our body to repair our body. Isn't it? So these organs uses the complex substances called as such as proteins to build the body, and this is called as assimilation. Is it, children? the nutrients present in the food, it is used by the organs to build, to do certain functions or to build the, for example, protein. It is helpful for the build or for the growth of our body, to build our body and to repair of our body. Here the food is used for the function of other organs. Is it for the functions of the organs? Here this process we call as assimilation. What is assimilation, children? The absorbed substances from this villi, this is transferred. It is absorbed by the villi, by the blood vessels. So blood vessels present in the villi, it absorbs the nutrients and then this is passed to the different parts of our, or different organs of our body. This organs uses the food components. This organs uses the protein or carbohydrates or fats to do different functions. So this is called as assimilation. So then the food reaches the organ and then in that organ it is made up of by the cells, isn't it? The organ, it is made up of by the tissue. Then tissue is made up of by the cells. In the cells, the food reaches the cells. So then the glucose present in the glucose in the cell, it breaks down with the help of oxygen. We respire, we take in oxygen. So it is also reaches to our cell. So here food and then oxygen, they reaches to the cell and then the food is break down with the help of oxygen and then it gives the carbon dioxide, energy, water. So that energy it is used to do our activities. Understand the children? So in the cells, glucose breaks down. So it is breaks down with the help of oxygen. And then so glucose plus oxygen. So when it reacts with both, it produces carbon dioxide, water and then energy. Is it? So it is taken place in our cell. I told the food absorbed by the blood vessels in the villi that reaches to the every organ, different organs of our body. Then our organ is made up by the tissue is made up by the cells. So finally our food reaches the cells. So in that glucose breaks down into, with the help of the oxygen, glucose breaks down into carbon dioxide, water and energy. This energy is used to do many activities. So what about the food that is undigested? So the food that remains in the undigested and unabsorbed, so that may enter into the large intestine. So that the food that remains undigested and unabsorbed by the small intestine, that finally enters into our large intestine. So in the large intestine, it is the large intestine is a wider and shorter than the small intestine. So this one is wider, but it is shorter than the small intestine. It is about 1.5 meters length. Okay. So what is the function of large intestine? Its function is to absorb water and salt present in the undigested food. Then the remaining waste, then it goes or enters to the rectum. See here, it enters the rectum and it remains there as semi-solid fecus. So the feces, then the fecal matter is removed through the anus. This is called anus. So the fecal matter, it is removed through the anus from time to time. So this process we call as egestion. So children, see here. So next one is large intestine. So next part is large intestine. Here the large intestine, it is the wider but it is shorter than the small intestine. So here the undigested or unabsorbed food is entered from the small intestine into the large intestine. In that region, so it is some salts or some water is present in that is absorbed by the large intestine. So it is about 1.5 meters length. Its length is 1.5 meters. Is it? It is shorter than small intestine. Is it? Here the undigested food enters, and what is the function of the large intestine? It absorbs the salt and water present in the undigested food material. Then that undigested or remaining waste, so that passes into the rectum. So this is called as rectum. It passes here. It remains as semi-solid fecus. Then this fecal matter is removed through the anus from time to time. So this process we call as egestion. So children, I hope you are all understood what I explained today. So we learn or we know, we get more information today. Isn't it about digestion in human being? So we will continue in the next class, children. Thank you.